Well, hello there again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is DB333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, the New Order Last Days of Europe as the West Siberian Provincial Authority, probably soon to be something else very soon. In the last video, we took over the dirty monarchists over in West Russia, and we're currently facing another group of dirty monarchists in the Kingdom of Siberia. Very, very fun stuff. Now, before we continue, we're of course going to play our new favorite game. Guess how many hours I have right now in this current session of Hearts of Iron 4. So let's go ahead and see. Oh! We've crossed 6K, ladies and gentlemen. This is huge. My god. Oh, gotta do new focus. Yeah. I'm hoping to just crunch out this last session. Right now, it is 10:51. I think 2 or 3 more videos ought to do this. And we'll put a wrap on Omsk, and I can go ahead, end this game, and let my computer take a break from running HoI 4 all the damn time. So we're going to go ahead and start with bolstering the Auxiliaries. The Redemption Brigades are men of limited worth, but their utility on the battlefield is undeniable. There is much a commander can admire about soldiers who have no choice but to fight or die. Such individuals are capable of great deeds in pursuit of their own survival. They will never be heroes, but they can achieve similar results on occasion. Using them as mere meat shields is inefficient. We will get far more use out of brigades with some minor investments. Ensuring that all of them are uniformly armed, equipped, and trained will help form a sense of unit identity, both bolstering morale and keeping them in their rightful place. We might also offer some small promises of their redemption actually being worthwhile, provided any of them live to see it, of course. Well, not bad. Our civilian economy is developing pretty well. We got a pretty big base overall, which I'm pretty happy with, honestly. How is our coring coming to? Not bad. We're actually, looks like we finished it up. We can hit that new button if we want to unify it all, which tempts me, but I think we'll hold off. Because if we don't hold off, we'll lose the rest of his focus tree, and who knows what cool stuff we're gonna miss. Let's do Enhanced Industrial Administration. We're now in 1970. Still in our regional tree, although we've cored up the rest of this, so I'm not too worried about the rest. Well, was it worth it, Franco? Let's go ahead and march for vengeance. The stage is set. The rifles cocked. The blades sharpened. Let the world know that the Black League is on the march, and Death himself leads our vanguard. We shall crush every self-aggrandizing traitor to Russia, erase their feeble statelets, and bring glorious salvation to every corner of the motherland. When every German is little more than bones moldering in the grave. When Germania is dust and ashes on the wind, when the very meaning of German is forgotten to time, only then will we have victory. There can be no mistake in our intent. We are going to destroy Germany, reduce its marble edifices to rubble, and ultimately, utterly exterminate the Germanic race, down to the last mewling spawn. That is the only way to ensure Russia's survival and the eternal freedom of our people. Let's address a redoubt in Tiumen. Why not? Yeesh. Hutig is still hanging on there, isn't he? Jeez. Though, the Republic of Urungu is free from, the Iberians, which is neat. Yeah, we'll see whether Franco can get a hold on this region or not. Kind of got Traza hanging out relatively fine. I'm gonna train up some more guys, actually, than this. Uh-oh. Who are we, brothers? Roared the man at the column's head. We are the Black League. We are Russia. What is our purpose? To kill the German. How far will we go? Even to our dying breath, came the war. Loudest of all was Pavel, his voice bearing a harsh edge born of hate. Hate was what fueled him, what gave him purpose. It had become him, transformed into a raging inferno where the foul German bandits of Omsk took his village and burned it to ash. For years he wandered, living off the land sustained by the motherland's gifts. The day the Black League had found him scrounging for food amongst the dead was a day that had made him who he was today. The League had taken him in, honed the uncontrollable fire in his soul into a searing blade of vengeance. Someday, when the League took the fight to Germany, he would be unleashed. When a German boy had suffered as he had, seen his mother defiled, his siblings butchered like swine, his homes reduced to cinders, only then would justice be done. Kill, kill, and only kill. We'll go ahead. Let's start the illegals program. Under the direction of Yuri Drozdov, the Black League will begin a program in which to infiltrate Germany. We need to know their every weakness to bring down the Nazi behemoth. There's also the possibility of creating weakness for ourselves to exploit in the future. Areas easily accessible to sabotage can be utilized when the time comes. Now is the perfect moment to send informants and sleeper agents across the Unity Pact. The preparation of sabotage operations now will give us more options in the future. A head start on gathering intelligence will also prove useful once we have unified Russia. Works for me. I'm gonna keep training up these guys. Got a new anti-tank stuff. Galicia's fallen. Infantry anti-tank, that works. Up. Abir is just going after Portugal now. Keep building up that PP. They got scores, so that's right. I like this focus. That's a really cool looking focus. The second sex, the female face of fascism. Oh, woke fascism. That's hilarious. I love that. Absolutely hilarious. I love it. Let's get some agents in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is a region with many important resources the League can use. Many deposits of iron, coal, and oil are located in the steppes. These resources could be more useful for our war effort. Even more importantly, we don't want them to fall into the hands of our enemies. The Black League must secure Kazakhstan first. Since there will most likely be a conflict over the Kazakhs, it is in our best interest to send our agents to important locations to improve our chances in the region. Those resources will be ours. How's Britannia doing? People's PM. She's still finishing up this stuff. Yeah. Glenn is struggling against the NPPC right now. We'll see if he can figure that out. Got agents in Kazakhstan. Let's go ahead and lay down the foundations. Our intelligence networks have been obtained, and our appearance on the world stage is now but all assured. All we have to do is sit and wait for the perfect moment. The warlords will be slaughtered, and Russia will once again stand united, ready to defeat her enemies. The great trial grows ever closer, and we will be ready. In enough time, we will reap what has been sown and use our new advantages in the inevitable wars. Our enemies have no idea what is coming. Still working on all of that. They'll be done soon enough, it seems. Our construction speed is, how do I put it? Fucking atrocious. A service by requirement is not helping at all there. But, you know, would I rather have someone know how to hold a wrench or hold a gun to kill Germans? I think you all know my answer to that. Well, was it worth it, Franco? The first round of our diplomatic efforts have come to their natural conclusion and are now ready for review. The diplomatic facilities have all been completed and renovated for use. We now have city centers that appear civilized to outsiders, hotels for diplomats, offices for our diplomatic corps, and meeting chambers that can host negotiations. While the ministry has additional ideas to entice and ensnare foreign support, we now have all we need to lull the outside world into complacency. Diplomatic outreaches, regardless of how successful they were, have reached through the static, and have established contact with the outside world. At the very least, military planners are confident that outsiders will contact us with words now, rather than bombs. The Reich has already received a statement of our intent, and their paranoia has already begun to work in favor of our plans. The militarists have spent decades trying to find an enemy. Now that they've found one in us, they've begun to overplay their hand, spreading discord through their blood-soaked empire, aided by the infiltrators we've sent into their borders. And then finally, on the local scale, we've ramped up our intelligence operations, and now have sympathetic ears ready and willing to aid our armies on the field in the unification wars to come. Realpolitik at best. Now, is there anything else we want here? We might as well do Foundries of War, get that industrial equipment boost. And then building slots in military factories will be nice too. In matters of war, there's no such thing as over-preparation. Our army spent years fighting tooth and nail, often making do without even the most basic of supplies. This struggle has strengthened the soldiers of a league, but it will take more than a good fighting spirit to destroy the Germans. It will take guns, millions of them. It will take tanks and planes and bombs and missiles and radios and shovels and countless other items that an army needs to fight a modern war. We cannot grow complacent in the militarization of our industry. Even as more factories are opened and our economy starts to develop, we must remember that it is not enough. Across our territory, the more land will be cleared. New foundries and plants will be opened, producing anything and everything that might be of use in our battles ahead. The factories will run all hours of a day, never ceasing production for even a second. Weapon depots will be filled and backup depots and emergency backup depots, because there's no such thing as over-preparation. Beautiful. And there's one more of these things that we can do. More resources might be nice. Building infrastructure. Yeah, we'll do that. The poverty rate is a bit annoying, but it'll... Who cares about poverty? What is this? America? What? Who are we? Lyndon Johnson? Who are we? John Glenn? Putting men over machines. That's a good move on you, John. Can I help you get up? Help you out there. Well, Catalonia is always going to be free in my heart. Civilian construction. Let's do flexible techniques. And now all we can do is reunify Russia. Oh. Hello? Game? There we go. The Russian National Reclamation Government. I think we're going to go ahead and start with the weapons of national vengeance. The Great Trial will be a near-apocalyptic affair. The German invader will show no quarter in their crusade against civilization itself. To that end, they will deploy every weapon seized from the deepest pits of hell itself in a vain attempt to stop national vengeance from becoming real. On the long winding road to Berlin, our forces will have to storm through nuclear explosions and clouds of biological and chemical agents never before fired in anger. To that end, these weapons must be harnessed for use by the League, for their destructive potential is unmatched by any other ordnance created by man. Nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons are the new reality of war in the modern age, and this must be accounted for in any plan for the Great Trial. Already work on these tools, war has begun, for only when the German state is erased from the history books by force and Russian boots march beneath the Brandenburg Gate will national vengeance truly be complete. Here we are. We can exert some influence in Kazakhstan. I don't know if I'm really too worried about Kazakhstan. The End of Wonders. All of those little bonuses are gone. Which feels bad, but not the biggest deal. We'll send you here with Boyarinov. How's Shimento doing? Can we give him any bonuses? Evidently not. To all armament department heads, classified top secret. To truly understand the task before us is to stare down death and defeat the shadow. The Germans will use every weapon imaginable against us. We must be ready with our own. Unconventional weaponry is required for what will be an unconventional war. When the Great Trial arrives, we shall be ready. We must be ready. To this end, several projects will be commissioned to research effective unconventional weaponry and prepare its deployment on a large scale. You will be informed of your assignments in upcoming days. All research is classified top secret. These weapons of national vengeance will bring forth the fury of every Russian mother who lost their son, every father who saw his home and land destroyed, and every soldier who, despite their greatest efforts, saw their nation fall to ruin. We will bring home the devastation the Germans have wrought upon our land. They have sowed the wind. Let them reap the whirlwind. Any concern from high-level department lead researchers or higher officials should be directed to Glaverick Yazov directly. And we found our salvation in the mud. So, Project Bellerfront. Let's issue some let's develop some physics institutes. Let's start with seizing the arsenal. Underneath the liberated city of Syktyvkar lies a treasure trove of old chemical weapons dating back to the first trial. Despite the relative age of these formulas and their inefficiency compared to our newer concoctions, they can still serve the Russian people well if used liberally. For what is the point of a massive stockpile if they sit underground in underground depots throughout their entire service life? Authorization to fire chemical shells and direct chemical airstrikes will be delegated to commanders on the ground, under the condition of your position is in danger of being overrun by foreign forces. As part of Plan Hydra, to prevent the Russian National Army's leadership from being crippled by a decapitation strike on command centers. Of course, the definition of foreign is depending on one's loyalty to the Russian nation. Rumors have emerged from the wastes of eastern Siberia of pretender warlords attempting their own petty imitations of the very ideology that consigned Russia to ruin. Even if such subhuman filth may claim Russian nationality by blood, their actions prove that they are little better than the Hitlerites to our west, and deserve to face the full might of our arsenal. There we go. Seize that shit up. Better anti-tank. How is our economy coming along? Uh-oh. The way of the warrior is to be found in dying. Finally, a fucking super event I can get behind in this game. Yeah, Kishi. Woo! Yes! Oh, unbelievably based right now. It is down to this. The Japanese know how to fucking do it, my god. And shit, they're killing each other, so we don't have to right now. Great. Seize the arsenal. Let's work on the Reclamation government real quick. We have again expanded. From one small chunk of Siberia, we have managed to grow, claiming all of Western Russia not held by the detestable Huns. We are no longer the provisional in our authority. We are now the Russian National Reclamation Government, ruling over half of the non-occupied motherland. But this is not the end. To the east, there are still pretenders, claiming authority over all of Russia, despite lacking the strength to reclaim it. Then there are the Germans themselves, still holding the most western parts of our country in their vile claws. We must not stop until all of Russia is united under our banner, and the Huns have paid for their horrid crimes. A lot of theoretical stuff. Progress is pretty slow as of now. Now I'll get the plans for a new Siberia plan. Issue some research grants. And we'll do some studying of foreign developments. Glav Kuryazov, head of the Black League and savior of the Russian people, stood stoic at the podium. He looked down at his prepared remarks and found them wanting. They were merely words on a page. He would give the world more than an announcement. He would give them a declaration. To all the heroes of Russia assembled here today. He started off a bit shaky. His voice had too monotonal over the microphone. There have been many who have told us of our imminent failure. Many who have doubted the will and strength of the people long under assault. Many who fear that what we might become. They know nothing of the sacrifices the Russian people have been forced to make in the name of survival. But we know, comrades. We know all too well what was lost in the first trial, and we now know what needs to be done. He began to speed up. His clenched hands wrapped around the podium, and he leaned forward. Russia must be made strong again, and the Russian people can with it. We must do this for our own survival, and we cannot expect help from abroad. But the inner strength of our nation, of the people themselves, is a bottomless resource, and has been tested time and time again. We must use that now to construct a new Russia from the ashes of the old, and do whatever is necessary to ensure that it survives forevermore. At stake is everything, you know, and the survival of every man, woman, and child in Russia. For if we fail, and let the German reconquer what he wills, or let the weaklings around us take power, the world will never again make the mistake of letting the Russian people reunite. But we will not fall. For that I depend. Russia depends on your courage and skill. He relaxed as he wound down. His hands unclenched, he stood straight and spoke softly. Know that each of you pushes forward the day that we all see Russia freed from its chains. Long live the Reclamation government and the justice it will bring. With one voice, the answer came. Long live the Reclamation government. There we go. Let's expand on Camera. Back when we were a mere provisional authority, Project Camera was authorized. Armed with a blank check and a thirst for justice, the talented Major Yuri Ovchinnikov is overseeing the visionary program designed to create the deadliest biological agents in history for the purpose of national vengeance. Already, his work is impressive with Glavkarik. Out of the Sverdlovsk laboratories come reports of a new strain of anthrax, capable of being packed into the smallest shell or bomb that can rain down on Germany in the hundreds from our artillery or aircraft. This is not enough for the purpose of a great trial. Ovchinnikov requires more funding, deserves more funding, more live test subjects, and the more modern facilities to complete these weapons that will fall like white snow over the cities of Germany, blanketing them in the spores that will forever consign their pathetic people to the dustbin of history. Excellent. News has come of a declaration from Western Siberia. A reclamation government has been formed by the Black League to reclaim Russian territory from those it deems unworthy or traitorous to the Russian people. Their success so far has shown them to be a powerful military force. Led by Dmitry Azov, the reclamation government has made many promises to the Russian people, the most significant of which is a return to democracy after reunification and strengthening of Russia. Whether he is Cincinnatus or Caesar, Azov certainly now has the power of a military dictator and appears to have cemented his rule. It remains to be seen whether the military state can last, whether Azov can keep the reins steady. Bitter plants from bitter seeds. They don't suspect a thing. Hold on. Let's get back to going. Let's see. Outline to criminalize legal protections, social normality. Iraq collapses into civil war? Where have I heard that one? And we are finally needing to get a new army division. We'll go with Yuri Drozdov. Seems like a solid one all around. Yeah. You can put your efforts on Kazakhstan. The rest of you will prepare for the Kingdom of Siberia. Oh, people don't want wars. They want the sound of battle. The battle of destiny. Another one I can get behind, finally. Black gold, red sand. Let's go ahead and do national reconstruction. Sorry, I'm sending a message to a friend. The war in West Russia has left the land devastated, roads torn apart, factories destroyed, mines damaged, farms left abandoned, and entire cities gutted. This must be corrected immediately. West Russia is not only a critical region in terms of industry and resources, it is also a border with the Huns. Meaning it will be on the front line when the Great Trial begins. Every farm that lay fallow will mean rations our troops won't get. Every road that remains damaged means it will be that much harder to get men and supplies to the front lines. This must be corrected immediately. Reconstruction of industry and infrastructure in West Russia will be made a national priority. Any cadre with a designation beginning with a 6, 7, 8, or 9 that can be spared will be sent to the region, and new cadres will be formed with all haste. West Russia must be made ready for the Great Trial. can start exerting some influence in Kazakhstan, which isn't a bad idea, actually. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, God. Uh-oh. Oh. The Arabs are invading Egypt. That's gonna get me demonetized. Although it's interesting, they did... Yemen and Oman won. Ooh. Let's go ahead and do the atomic age. The average Black League soldier is in no way inferior to his German counterpart. Technologically, it would only take several years of R&D investments to catch up to the Germans in terms of equipment. With direct Danes to attack us now, the Black League can retaliate using the biological and chemical war weapons developed by the old Soviet Union. However, before the League can take the fight to their so-called Eternal City, Germania, there is one aspect for which we have no answer. The atomic bomb. For our mission to succeed, the League needs to ensure the inevitability of mutually assured destruction. For the German to experience what Russia had gone through, biological and chemical weapons are not enough. No longer shall they have an upper hand above us, for they shall learn the power of vengeance, but also of love. In the atomic age, love is mad. Oh, that's a little corny, but... Hey, if it means we get to nuke some fucking Germans, I'm very down for that. Better industrial equipment, that's what we need right about now. I'll take that. Destruction speed is finally not fucking garbage. Yuzov strode impatiently down the hallway after a disappointing briefing. Sakharovsky in tow. Comrade Sakharovsky, we have discussed this. We desperately require atomic weaponry. I will not tolerate delays in the program. There have already been enough issues. Glavkirk, please. There may be an alternative. Sakharovsky put his hand on the other's shoulders. The other was outstretched in one of the many conference rooms in the bunker. Yuzov turned. Explain. The primary objective of atomic weaponry is not merely the destruction of buildings or their inhabitants, but to render economic activity unviable for an extended period. Well, a genuine nuclear reaction is not necessary for such an event. Merely spreading radioactive fallout is good enough. These radiological dispersive devices will do exactly that. Yuzov still looks skeptical. Nonsense. A conventional bomb would not spread the radiation nearly as far as a nuclear bomb, would it not? You are correct, Glav. Correct. Even our largest conventional weapons would not have a truly desired effect. However, there are a couple advantages to these dirty bombs. One, they are easier to make. We can therefore have more available to target more cities in the trial. Two, they can be made smaller than real nuclear devices. Small enough perhaps to be carried by a dedicated agent into the population center. This would make upcoming operations far more effective. Furthermore, the effect of radiation may not be significant past a few kilometers, but the people of Germany will not know that, nor will they believe their government when they tell them so. Some weapons of vengeance strike at the heart. Others strike at the brain. Yuzov stood silent for a while. It was an elegant solution to a problem of limitations. Sakharovsky had done himself. Very well. Radioactive material will be transferred. Let's do national survival. For Russia to survive, its people must survive. But they must do more than just simply live. We need soldiers and workers able to perform grueling tasks for hours on end. For that to be possible, we must endure our people are fed and content. A starving soldier simply can't fight as well as one who is fed, and an unhappy worker is a slow worker. And neither of these can be allowed. As such, national action will ensure poverty relief programs are put into place nationwide. No cadre will lack for food or shelter. The people will not have frivolities, but we will not want for basic goods and services either. There we go. Could increase theoretical development. I'm not too worried about that, honestly. Progress is still slow, but we'll get there eventually. I'm going to save up some political power so when we go into Kazakhstan, we can go and take shit over. The line to be assigned to a cadre had stretched far outside the small barn the Omsk men had set up their headquarters in the village. They had promised food, shelter, and community, which was two more things than any of the villagers had right now. But the little town near Samara was now part of a league, and that meant that the people in it were too. A middle-aged man sat behind a desk as a mother and child approached. "Only one at a time, please, ma'am. Please, he is very young. I only wish to make sure." The official raised his finger to cut her off. "That is for me to decide. He shall serve the League in whatever way Russia requires." "What is his age?" "He is only 16. Surely there's some work he can do." "Something away from the front lines?" He was not 16. The official was quite aware that he was not 16. And still he paused for a few seconds. He recalled his own youth cadre, the punishments, the pain, as well as the brotherhood. The mother had no idea what being 16 in Omsk actually meant. What is required? His face grew blank as he accidentally stared at the boy. His pen hovered over the assignment card. If he were not 16, I might be able to assign him to industrial cadre rather than a youth cadre. The official looked very purposefully at the mother. "Do you understand me?" The mother watched as his sunken face turned towards her. There was very little to indicate any change in expression, except that the corners of his lifeless eyes seemed to twitch, and there was a turn in his stubbled right cheek. "Yes, he is 18. "I see. You'll be assigned to Cadre 603, 481 in Luzino. Your son will be assigned to Cadre 704, 821 in Sverdlovsk. Do not pack anything. You will be transported tomorrow. Say whatever goodbyes you need to. It is unlikely you will see anyone here again." "But surely you could stay with me and..." "Do not test the limits of my patience. You will find them short." Small mercies. Silence is... Since the inception, in the era of the Great Patriotic War, the atomic bomb has changed the world. It made the defeat of Great Britain possible, and seared the fingers of the American giant. The empires of Germany and Japan stand upon foundations burnt to hard and crisp by the fires of atomic annihilation. For Russia to be great, for Russia to rise, for Russia to avenge the deaths and suffering of the Great Patriotic War, the League needs to acquire an atomic bomb. However, the completion of a proper warhead is years away, a sad fact that even Vlad recognizes. However, not all roads to power have to be pure. A dirty solution would suffice if the cleaner methods would not do. In this case, the dirty bomb. Nuclear scientists might call it a hack job, engineers might call it sloppy. However, in the face of a deterrent, the Germans shall never impinge on Russia's sovereignty ever again. It matters not what is pure and what is dirty, only what is effective. And I'm seeing nothing wrong here with any of this. I don't understand why people would have an issue with this. What? Better research facilities. Very nice. We managed to get to cutting edge. Damn. Our literacy is horrible, but hey, at least we have cool gadgets. Reports have been flooding in from the doctors assigned to the Regiment Brigades that strange symptoms have begun to surface among the units, who have been sent to assist in mining operations. Bloody urine, catastrophic kidney failure, and unprecedented rates of cancer have ravaged redemption brigades, with nearly 80 casualties to date from whatever is causing this. Though most are baffled, one doctor in particular has speculated the damage is so bad that it's as though they were digging uranium with a shovel. Which isn't far off from reality. High Command is ecstatic at the success of the operation, having expected casualties 3 times greater than what we're seeing. Many additional redemption brigades have been rerouted to assist with uranium extraction operations now that we know the losses are well within acceptable parameters. This is much cheaper than safety equipment. Whew! How's our economy doing real quick? I'm going to check on that. Still paying off debt. Let's move into the sixth circle. After the League's decision to expand on Project Camera, Glavrik Yazov has grown interested in the results of experimentation that he has done. Nerve gases that can kill within minutes, far beyond the scope of the old mustard gases and the like housed within the bowels of the old Komi Republic. Agents that can defoliate entire forests, if the formula is correct. As with all the League's efforts towards vengeance, all of Ochinikov's work is in progress. Perhaps there might be a way to accelerate it. The League shall provide test subjects as materials for feedback of the potency of the chemical agents. These would come from the worst of society. Bandits, criminals, and murderers of a lower sort. For Glavrik would do Russia service in ridding these elements. Ochinikov would be pleased. No more rats. Only men. We're doing very well when it comes to repairing infrastructure. God knows there's a lot of damaged infrastructure in Perm that we gotta fix. Our political power is not that good, though. So we can't do much. We can't do the fourth thesis quite yet. But we can go ahead and expand the system. That'll actually help with political power. On the international front of the Potemkin program, our spies have proven to be of great value. Potemkin convinced many in America and in other powers that Comrade Yuzov is the best hope for Russia's future, while our illegals have silenced many voices that might have spoken out against the Black League. Both of these efforts must be expanded. A massive propaganda campaign will convince the free world that the national government is both no threat to them and the best counter that they have to the German menace, while the illegals must be expanded to ensure there are none in the Russian emigre community who would dare say otherwise. There we are. Major Ochinikov, No. It's perfectly natural to feel revulsion when you look at what we're doing here, interjected Major Yuri Ochinikov, opening a door for his guest. It's certainly not the most civilized operation sometimes. He glanced back at Yuzov briefly as we entered a long, windowed facility before continuing. Block 5 is our most advanced facility. Yuzov glanced down the line of windows, and his stomach seized up instinctively. On the other side were, in various states of deterioration, the husks of human beings. A gaunt man splayed across a cot, with horrible lesions covering his skin. A feverish woman huddled in the corner of her cell. A crumpled-up rag of a person crouched on the floor, coughing helplessly. His bloody... Yazov had to look away. His host continued the narration. There were several cells, for instance, for the testing of a hemorrhagic smallpox strain, codenamed India, obtained from an anonymous seller. His team had been slowly breeding the virus to be resistant to almost every antibiotic available in Russia. Upon mentioning this fact, Ochinikov had turned to Yazov and, like a schoolboy telling a prurient joke to a friend, had suggested with a smirk that the medical aid being sought abroad by the Glavrik might come in handy for this. Then he turned Yazov's attention to a darkened room at the end of a hall, turning on the light to reveal a nearly skeletal man, hunched over an exercise bike of some kind. This man, as a major explained, was being used to test the efficiency of pathogens on soldiers in combat. Having been infected, lengthy stints on the bike stimulated physical strain, while the psychological stress was replicated by firing live rounds over his head at random intervals. The major waited for Yazov to comment, but was met with only silence. Yazov wanted to feel proud, but he just felt empty. We lose 25 manpower. Whew, yeah, that was kind of rough. Even I feel weird making jokes about that. That was just fucking... Well, with that, it's going to be a good place to cut it here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you as always for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. Want to see more of this content feature? Hit the sub button for more uploads every weekday, as well as every Saturday. If you have any comments, feedback, concerns, anything of the sort, leave them in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get and appreciate any feedback you might have for me. If you want to chat, play games, anything of the sort, leave it. Check out my Discord, down link below. If you want to send me back away every month, check out my Patreon. If you want to see me do this sort of stuff live, check out my Twitch, all of which are in the description box below. Oh, I got an email. That scared the shit out of me. Shit, I forgot I had the tab open. Anyway. That's really it for now, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been DB333. Thank you as always for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.